welcome back to Phenomena. This is season 5, episode 8. Think you can stop what we do? I doubt it. Oh my God, so good. The Cabin Crew. You need to watch The Cabin Crew. The Spark is what it's called. Just go watch it on YouTube. It'll change your life. I love it. Setting fire to the page. I'll be doing this every time. Do this in the car. You'll be getting road rage. So good. Anyway, I'm your host, Mimi Dibs, and today we are going to be talking about astral projection. Dun-dun-dun. Out-of-body experiences, if you will. However, Angel, our lovely scriptwriter for this episode, thank you so much, Angel, I appreciate you so much, mentioned to me that out-of-body experiences kind of deserve their own thing because it's like kind of opening the can of worms into a whole other, like potentially like psychic, and it's just, it should be its own episode. So this one is going to be specifically tailored to astral projections. You know, like if you've seen Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, she astral projects with the help of her cousin on the show, R.I.P. that actor, actually. Oh, it was so sad. But they literally did like a astral projection. So it involves like going into a trance and someone needs to look over your body. I mean, in the like witchy sense, I guess that's what it is. But let's explore as to what astral projection is in like a broader phenomena sense, because I'm interested. Cool. Without further ado, focus, breathe, calm the mind, and enter a meditative state. Fun fact, I really don't like ohms. Like, I took a yoga class in college for like 2 credits. And yeah, they were like, we're going to play ohms. And I got so much anxiety. I just don't. There's something about ohms I don't like hearing people freaks me out. I don't know what it is. Can't do it. But, you know, to each their own. Maybe if it gets you into a meditative state, that's awesome. It gets me into a state of panic. So I don't know. Diagnose me. What does that mean? What does that mean? Help. You've been hoping to experience this phenomenon for a while now. Countless YouTube tutorials, TikTok rabbit holes. No, not the rabbit holes. Research that somehow includes the CIA and shady government projects. Angel, this is sounding like the research, this is sounding like the rabbit holes you went down after writing this episode. She texted me like, I stayed up far too late just going down CIA rabbit holes. I was like, fun, that's good. Last night you swore you did it, but now it feels like a faint memory, and yet you feel it now. Ooh, I like this. This is prose. This is great. I feel like this is like a first party situation. I feel it. I do feel it. Do you feel it? I feel it. A strange tingling sensation. Tinglies begins to take over your body inch by inch. You feel it before you see it. Swirling colors behind your closed eyes. Yo, that's crazy. Have you ever closed your eyes and like pushed on your eyes? It's probably not good as a kid. And then you see kind of crazy colors and patterns and whatnot. So you swear there's a faint buzzing or ringing in your bedroom, so distant it's barely audible. Some say this is the moment they pass through a tunnel, but you don't. Instead, you begin to rise, floating. Ooh. You try not to get too excited. You know that it will break the calm. Ooh, okay. I didn't know this. I feel like we should clock this. The fact that you need to remain light as a feather, stiff as a board, if you will. Oh man, I love this. I don't know if it's a girl thing, but like at every sleepover we played with Ouija boards, like handmade Ouija boards, which is like not great. Ow, not ow. I said ow for the microphone, okay? It's fine, it's fine. I'm an empath, obviously. No. So yeah, like Ouija board, homemade Ouija boards, and light as a feather, stiff as a board was always a good one. And you do kind of need to like remain calm. And like you kind of feel yourself floating, but like not really. It's weird. It's weird. Don't open your eyes too soon or you'll snap back into your body like the other times you tried this. Angel, this is sounding like it's like, have you tried this? After a moment, more sounds, more colors, and a deep sense of calm wash over you. Your edible starts to kick in. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm joking. It's a joke. Jesus. You open your eyes. Below you, you see your unconscious body. I feel like that would freak me out if I just like looked down and was like, ooh, she did. Like, you know, like it's just a little, I don't know. Not a fan of seeing your unconscious body. It feels very like out of control. That's why if we learned anything from Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, is that you need to have someone watch over your body. Make sure it's okay while you're out there gallivanting with spirits and in different realms or whatever. Here and now, you're over the moon. A possible destination, by the way. You can astral project to the moon? I heard it's like cold and I guess kind of dusty and just kind of like, doesn't really seem like there's a lot going on the moon. the whimsical moon of my mind, maybe, but like the real moon is just kind of like, oh, there's a rock and there's a crater and there's some other rocks over here and a flag, apparently. Because now you've begun to master astral projection. You've known about out-of-body experiences and near-death experiences for years. Ooh, that's also a topic we're going to cover separately. So, okay, we will come back to specifically out-of-body experiences and near-death experiences as 2 separate episodes. This one is specifically astral projection. How people claim to see themselves from above, even while clinically dead. Oh yeah, that's near-death experiences. You heard about MK Ultra in our Polybius episode. Yes, season 1, episode 9. Whoa, it feels so long ago. Season 1, what was that like? Crazy. And CIA experiments. Yes. Oh my God. MK Ultra. And wait, did we talk about MK Ultra in the Polybius? I guess we did. We must have talked about MK Ultra in the Project Stargate episode as well. And I'm blanking on what number episode that was. But that's also a good one because I'm pretty sure we talked about MK Ultra. And then also just, having finished Stranger Things, that's also MK Ultra coded as well. So crazy. You even heard about a pregnant woman who astral projected during birth. Who? Have you heard? I haven't heard that. What? Huh? Well, during childbirth. Mama, she might have been disassociating because I heard it's not the best time. Like after it's fine, but people are always like, what happened? I blacked out. It's like, there's a reason. There's a reason. It's not great. Whilst en route, while the baby is en route out to the world. Watching the whole thing from above, later recounting details she couldn't have known otherwise. That is really crazy. See, I've never astral projected to where like I see my body from a different angle. That would really like freak me out, I think. And rightfully so, because I don't know. That's just weird. It's wild. Especially while you're giving birth. I don't know that I want to see any other angles. They usually put like a sheet so that you don't see what's happening. It's very traumatizing, supposedly. So it makes sense. You're grateful you didn't have to go through something that extreme. Phew. Now you're here, doing it. It's terrifying. You also know this can go very bad very fast. The Insidious franchise taught you that much. Some belief systems say there are beings out there who try to stop this, entities that don't want you leaving your body at all. And yet, here you are. You look down and you see your home from the sky. Then you look further and further still. Worlds upon worlds stretch above you, below you, all around you, all waiting to be explored. Whoa, this does sound like, I feel like astral projection is going to be very tied to like a spiritual state of mind. That makes sense. And then I know Ruben and Angel both let me know that there were going to be memes in this episode that I will also put up on the screen. They're so good. But this one says, when you're tired of everyone's and just need some alone time in the astral. Facts. Fair. Yes. Honestly, yeah. Just like, I'm going to go chill in the astral for a sec. Out of office, sorry. Quick pause for Phenomennouncements. Yay, Phenomennouncements. Today, I really want to shout out a profile that is very, very near and dear to me and special because I think they have just done such a great job at keeping everyone like politically aware of what's going on in the world and in the US. And that is sainthoax. So I know they have an Instagram. They also have a Patreon. It's the one Patreon that I personally pay for. And I think that truly it's money well spent because the amount of diligent like research and effort that the person that runs the sainthoax page or people that run the sainthoax page puts into their like weekly recaps. Like it's a great way, in my opinion, to get a pulse on what happened that week without really just being in the nitty gritty of it. Like I don't really follow a lot of other political accounts because it can be too much very quickly. And just with everything going on, things can feel really overwhelming. And I think sainthoax just does it in a way that's like, it's a mix of like really funny memes sometimes in between. I think they try to keep it as lighthearted as possible when possible. And I really appreciate that about this profile. It's really great. I know they, like I said, have an Instagram. Maybe they have a YouTube, but I know for sure they have a Patreon. You should check them out on both because if you spend money on any Patreon, I would say this is really good. This is really money really well spent because it's like, hey, you're basically asking someone to give you the rundown of what happened without you having to like dig into it and spend so much time in it that it feels like very all consuming. And that can happen very quickly, especially in the current political state of affairs. Thank you so much to the person that heads up the sainthoax page. I really, really appreciate you. And yeah, just go check them out on Instagram. I think they're a really good follow. Yay! Thanks so much. Alrighty, let's get into the lore. At this point, it's no surprise that myth and culture are often layered together when we talk about modern day phenomena. In fact, in ancient Egypt, there was the concept of Ka, spelled Kha or Ka, a vital essence that transcended the physical human body. Alongside it were other aspects of the self, like the heart and personality, which together passed on with the soul. Interesting. Okay, so the essence beyond the physical body were like aspects of the self, the heart and personality, and the soul. Okay, interesting. So Ka is kind of the amalgamation of those things, I think. In Greece, we have Plato, who argued that the soul could exist outside the body and that true knowledge came from the soul contemplating eternal forms. Ooh, I didn't realize that was him. That was Plato's, like, idea or the fact that he posited that as a potential theory. That's cool. He was ahead of his time. He taught that the psyche could commune with higher realms, eventually referring to this idea as the subtle body. Ooh, interesting. Okay. I will say that the idea of this is a little complex, obviously, very complex and complicated, mainly because I believe that there are, higher realms of being. I don't know that we can necessarily get to them by doing anything. But I also think that sometimes people that are undergoing like spiritual psychosis or psychosis will have this in their minds. And then if they start thinking that they hear things and then, then they're like, oh, it's God's talking to me. But it's like, just be weary of if you hear voices or anything like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a very fine line between being like spiritual and trying to astral project and whatnot, and then also obviously like having somewhat of a psychotic break where you think you hear voices and then they're gods and that gods are speaking to you and telling you to do things. Like it's just be careful, More contemporarily, French author Honore de Balzac. His last name's Balzac? I'm so sorry. Okay, we're gonna be adults about this. So Balzac said, no, okay. He explored astral travel in dreams in his 1832 novel, Louis Lambert. In the story, the main character flies every night. Ooh, whoa, that's taxing. And is able to recount specific details of places far away. The book draws heavy inspiration from the Emanuel Swedenborg's idea on metaphysics, especially in his 1758 work, Heaven and Hell, which at some point states, there is neither time nor space as we understand them in the other world. Both are replaced by a sense of state. What? Time and space. Okay, so he's like, you can transcend time and space by being in a sense of state. What does that mean? Being in like a being in the sense of, I don't know. I don't really understand that. Modern interpretations aren't much more removed from the esoteric. Theosophy, founded by Helena Blavatsky in New York in 1875, continues to this day. This belief system claims that humans possess 7 bodies, ranging from the lowest physical form to the highest spiritual and mental bodies, a separate but unified structure, not unlike the Egyptian myths mentioned earlier. Okay, interesting, but they think there's 7 bodies, whereas the Egyptian idea of Ka is more like body plus heart plus soul plus personality. Was that the other one? Spirit? Soul? Soul. I think it was soul. So, but this one posits the idea that 7 bodies, ranging from the lowest physical form to the highest spiritual form. Interesting. And also weird. Do they think that you go from the lowest to the highest, like via reincarnation, or what's that? I wonder. While I can't speak for Theosophy itself, there are now many organizations and individuals who claim to teach astral projection, often for profit. That's number 1 red flag. If anyone's being like, pay me and I'll teach you how to fly. It's like, okay. Using esoteric language to capitalize on people's fears, hopes, and dreams. Then came America, and astral projection lore changed forever. No way? From artichoke to Stargate. What's artichoke? Declassified U.S. government files reveal a timeline stretching back to the early 1950s. Project Artichoke was one of the first efforts to study hypnosis, interrogation, and behavior modification. MKUltra is the most well-known name, though it was also called Bluebird for a time, before eventually being disbanded and declassified as Project Stargate in 1995. And you mentioned plug season 1, episode 7. So that was episode 7 in Stargate. Interesting. These projects didn't focus on just one goal. They heavily involved astral travel and remote viewing as potential methods of spying on enemies without ever leaving U.S. soil, among other uses that access to the astral realm might offer, if enough proof could be found. Weird. This is definitely giving 11 from Stranger Things, for sure. The declassified files go into surprising detail. They reference parts of the soul, transcendent planes, realms above, below, and even overlapping our own. Realms that overlap our own? Weird. Wait, what? Like different timelines? They describe the human mind as a complex system of shifting energy existing outside of space and time, linking realms like heaven and hell with one another. Ooh, that's called purgatory. The waiting room, if you will. But no, yeah, okay. So this kind of idea of the human mind as a complex system that has ever-shifting energy that is something you can tap into outside of the physical body. Interesting. But I wonder if that means the soul physically goes somewhere. Like when we usually think about astral projection, we like visualize a soul coming out of the body and like going somewhere, right? But in this case, like, is it a state of mind or can you not see? I don't know. It's weird. The idea of like seeing yourself from out of body experiences like is so strange to me because I don't understand how you can see different perspectives if you can't see with your eyeballs. I don't get it. Or is it not? Is it just kind of like a wide lens of the room? I don't know. This space was often referred to as the astral plane, not unlike what Plato described or what Egyptian mythology suggested or what Balzac wrote about centuries later. At one point, MKUltra would even refer to it as the gateway, complete with specific processes and techniques designed to access it. Ooh, I had the gateway as one of the things that we should look further into. Let me know if you want us to do a full episode on that, because I do have it as one of the potential lists of phenomena that we can choose from. Another meme, I love it. Hate your job? Try astral projection. Hey, sorry, boss. Couldn't come in today. I'm gonna astral project to an all-inclusive resort in Mexico. With stories, science, and secrecy all colliding, explanations start to diverge, which brings us to the theories. Nice. Number 1, drugs. Well, like ritualistic drugs or even drugs administered by a government frightened by the Cold War, add to that the ongoing pressure of the civil rights movement, and America was desperate for answers, so drugs and hopeful minds. Ooh, another meme. POV, the ADHD leaving my body when the teacher tells me to focus. Honestly, the ADHD leaving my body to go do something else anytime I tell myself to focus, okay? That's relatable. AF. Facts, retweet. After all, many substances used in these experiments contain chemicals the human body already produces naturally, especially in and around sleep, like melatonin. Whoa. People have told me they have the craziest dreams on melatonin, and I tend to agree. I feel like, well, I rarely remember my dreams really, but I feel like whenever I've woken up, I'll always wake up at like 3 a.m. if I take melatonin, which isn't often, but like it's because I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, well, this is doing the opposite of what I want it to do. Like I'll literally get like 2 or 3 hours of good sleep and then I'll wake up and be like out of nowhere. Like it's annoying. I don't want to wake up, but I always do with melatonin. So I wonder if they injected people with any other bodies. Bodies? What? No. Any other drugs or chemicals? Or maybe like they're talking about like psilocybin kind of, or any other mind altering that like, you know, it's been said that like the neural connections or whatever, there's certain things already happening in your brain, but a lot of times certain drugs can like really amp up those connections and wow, that was a lot of amp up those connections so that you're like, oh my God, I'm piecing together so many things now. MKUltra administered LSD, put subjects through sleep deprivation, and gave them mescaline, a naturally occurring hallucinogen found in the peyote cactus. Wow. Whoa. I feel like nowadays if they just like had an ad being like, hey, do you want to do LSD in a lab? I mean, that I don't know. I'd probably freak out if I was in a lab and people were like looking at me. I'd be like, ooh, what are you looking at me for? Stop. Okay, the number 1 rule to doing any of these mind-altering drugs is be in a safe environment with people that you know and love and that know and love you and somewhere you're comfortable. And I would assume a government lab is not it. For centuries, shamans used peyote in intensive rituals to experience astral worlds and other realms, practices that can produce similar results in the human mind and psyche. Peyote LSD, sleep deprivation. All of it could be the gateway. Okay, again, you're making it sound, Angel, like I have this as one of the potential other phenomena that we can go into. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it to go into it now because it kind of just like, is it just that? I don't know. But I think what you're saying here is that all of these drugs could be the gateway to achieving these higher realms, right? And if we kind of suspend our belief or all psychiatric other explanations aside, the fact that people do feel that through, very deep meditation and sometimes through the use of like LSD and shrooms and whatnot, will get to this like higher astral projection state is interesting. That a lot of people will experience the same things and explain it the same way. Like that's why it's a phenomenon, because it's like, how do so many people know to kind of give it the same explanation? You know what I mean? It's interesting. Theory number 2, the human body. Once again, we're dealing with sleep, but this time you're not frozen in your body. You're doing the opposite. Another meme, that moment your astral journey ends and you snap back into the third dimension. Well, all journeys gotta come to an end, even the astral ones. A lucid dream that pulls you into the waking world, leaves your body behind, and eventually drops you back into the dream itself. That's wild. Because it's like, yeah, I guess that is where it differs, obviously, between like lucid dreaming, because you're still in the dream world while you're lucid dreaming, whereas this one, you're in the real world, but you're not in your body. It's wild. And again, my biggest question about that is like, what's the perspective? People say like, oh, it feels like I'm looking at my body from above, but like, how do you know what your body looks like from above if you haven't seen it? Unless you're somehow perceiving it. But how are you doing that without your eyes? I don't get it. I thought you needed eyeballs to see, but here we are. There's also a documented vestibular disorder of the inner ear. In one research study involving 210 patients, this condition caused astral projection-like symptoms. Inner ear, I feel like that has to do with balance, but also like it's very close to the brain. Susan Blackmore, author of Beyond the Body, an investigation of out-of-body experiences. I might take it back. I think this kind of is astral projection / out-of-body. I don't know. I feel like the out-of-body experiences are the experiences people have while astral projecting. So they're kind of one and the same now that I think about it. Let me know what you think. Honestly, I could use your help trying to figure out, like, is it a separate thing? Is it not? I know near-death experiences would be a separate thing for sure, but like, is out-of-body different than astral projection? To be determined. I don't know. In Susan Blackmore's Beyond the Body, an investigation of out-of-body experiences, she found that people who report these experiences tend to be more imaginative, more susceptible to hypnosis, and more easily absorbed by film, media, or dissociative states. That goes back to what I was saying, which is like sometimes, like maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's psychosis. I don't know. It's just something to keep in mind. And it's also so hard when people are like, I heard the voices of the angels and they told me to run you over with my car. And it's like, well, you can't really, I don't know. We on Phenomena don't condone using astral projections as excuse to do any harm or cause any harm. But, if you're just kind of like floating around, that should be fine, right? As long as you're not causing harm to anyone. Fine by me. In 2021, the medical science journal Curious, but spelled like Curious? I don't know. I like pronouncing it Curious. Published a paper titled Astral Projection, a Strange Out-of-Body Experience in Dissociative Disorder. Yeah, like DID. Comparing these experiences to dissociative identity disorder and even schizophrenia. Wow, see, Angel? Yes, exactly. My thoughts exactly is like, this is very, very, very close, or it can closely resemble experiences that some people have when they have a psychotic break. And psychotic break is a different thing than DID, obviously, but in DID, people do also tend to say that like they've experienced kind of out-of-body experiences. So it is just a very weird overlap. Not to say that all people that experience astral projection are having some sort of mental situation going on, but I think that it is worth noting that there may be an overlap. And when there is an overlap, it's kind of like, okay, the mind is a very powerful thing and it can play a lot of, I don't want to say play tricks, but like, it's like, it can make you believe a lot of things that might just be explained by misfiring neurons and things like that. Still very strange, though. From this perspective, it could be all a trick of the mind or the body, or as some studies suggest, both. Number 3, out-of-body experiences and near-death experiences. Oh, whoa, we're just going on. Okay, cool. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, so Angel added both, but I think I do have near-death experiences on the roster as a potential separate episode. I'm so sorry. I keep going back to this, but I'm having a hard time distinguishing all of these things. But as a theory to astral projection, out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences, and MK Ultra's remote viewing experiments could all be examples of the soul traveling without the body. NDEs and MK Ultra could be episodes of their own, but there is sworn testimony from people who experienced these events, especially remote viewers who insist they could visualize distant locations in detail. What's that about? Because that's pretty crazy. And I also wonder, like, how much of it is, like, were they ever shown any of these places? Or, like, it's in the subset of their mind somewhere where they kind of, like, are able to, I don't know, picture what the surroundings were of around there. I don't know. There's also another meme. Love me showing up in your dreams to ask if you're mad at me. No, literally that. Are you mad at me? Hey, guys, are you mad at me? I'm just curious. That was me like all my 20s. And then I turned 30 and I was like, actually, I don't care. So freeing. You should try it. I love it. I wonder if the people that were able to explain the locations had like pulled it out of their subconscious somehow after having seen it somewhere. And when investigators were later sent to those places, what they found matched the viewer had described. Yeah, well, obviously, I would assume that they would have to like corroborate what the descriptions were, unless they were more like vague descriptions. Like there was a tree, there was some grass, there was a car, and a building. And it's like, well, I don't know. All 4 of those elements were in this. They might have been described in the same place. But it's like, okay, well, I think one could assume the surroundings of a place. People report seeing details during moments of death, scenes unfolding around their bodies, details they later recount, even though they shouldn't have been able to know them. See, that is definitely the craziest part of this, I think, is the whole, like, when people go to corroborate. Like, has someone ever astral projected and then said, like, oh, your house looks like this, but they've never been to that house? Like, I want to know that, you know? But then again, it seems to be, like, a hard thing to be like, and now astral project. Like, it's hard to, like, know when it's going to happen. It's just kind of like, I mean, obviously, sometimes it happens, but sometimes you can do everything right, and it doesn't happen. So, I don't know. It seems very finicky. I don't know if I still even, like, I don't know, like, believe that is a state of being. I think potentially being in a meditative state and whatnot, you can reach different realms, which I guess is what astral projecting is now that I think about it. Because the other way that I'm thinking about it is like teleportation, right? It's very similar to like, or at least that's how Chilling Adventures of Sabrina kind of used it, right? She like astral projected so that she could be somewhere else to like do something. But like that's all within Earth. And that's kind of using it as a way to teleport, which is like just different. You know, different than like visiting other realms and other states of, you know, being and consciousness and whatnot. So I don't know. Let me know what you think, though. Interesting stuff. So what's actually going on here? Practitioners across many faiths view these experiences as tools, but they also warn that exploring them can come with serious risks. Well, yeah. Also, like if you're leaving your body, who's to say you'll ever come back to it? Or come back to it the same. I don't know. I feel like that's definitely a risk you're willing to take if you're going to try to do that. A journey like this isn't something to take lightly. It's meant to be approached with caution and with care, because along the way you might encounter dark beings beyond this world or truths you weren't ready to face. No, that's wild. Some believe you can bring things back and that doing so can change reality forever. So some people believe that when you go and astral project, things can get attached to you and then you can like bring it back into your body or into your like realm. I don't know. Or was that purposely worded very like differently? I don't know. That's hard to discern. So as you're flying high and seeing the world from above, remember, knowledge and sight come with weight, with gravity. So what goes up must come back down. Yeah, that's a good thing to keep in mind. And it's like, what if, I don't know, it's kind of like when you like do those drugs. Sometimes it's like, what if you don't want to do it anymore? And then you just kind of have to like, what if astral projecting is just kind of a thing where you're like, well, you're kind of stuck here until things line up again and that you can go back into your body. It's not really kind of a thing where you could be like, I'm done. Like, I just wanted a little 10-minute, like something like, you know what I mean? Like maybe you'll be stuck. Locked out of your body, so to speak. I don't know. That's crazy. Let me know if you've ever experienced astral projection, because that's wild. Well, at least until you're finally rid of the old meat sack. Not the meat sack. No. That is crazy. Yeah, because I guess until you are done with that. I mean, arguably you would go into a different one, right? If you believe in reincarnation. I don't know. I do. I want to be reincarnated as a house cat. Can someone please tell the universe, hey, universe, I want to come back as a house cat at a rich person's house. House cat at a rich person's house. Yes. Amaze. Yay, what a good episode. Thank you so much. I definitely learned a lot more about astral projection and thought about it more in terms of like, what is it and would I ever want to do it? And although the visual is cool, I don't know that I would ever want to do it because of the whole risk of like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't like, that's so out of control. You know what I mean? Like you really do have to kind of give up control to experience this. And I don't know if I could do that. I like being in my body. I don't even like cruises, man. I don't like not being on the ground. I like knowing where the ground is. I wouldn't say I don't like really care about being in the air, but I don't love it for extended periods of time. Like I'd much rather like be on the floor. And then, yeah, being out at sea, can't do it. I can't sleep on a boat. It would feel, again, that sense of like out of control. Like I just want something solid to be on that I know. And I feel like this is very like, la, 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 I'm just out in the whatever, in the universe as a soul or ghost or consciousness of some kind. But it's like, I don't think it's as easy as just being like, I'm done now. But, you know, let me know. Let me know what your personal experiences are if you have ever astral projected. If you have to let me know. I don't think I've met anyone that has astral projected. So, Angel, unless you have, in which case, comment. Let me know because I want to talk to you because that's crazy. I need to know what the experience was like from like a first person perspective. Anyway, check out our Expedia affiliate link, expedia.com/affiliate/phenomena/season 5. Yay! To book your next trip into the astral plane. No, I'm kidding. Book your next trip to anywhere, honestly. Like I mentioned before, an all-inclusive resort in Mexico. I could really go for an all-inclusive resort in Mexico, honestly. I haven't gone to one in a while. And I know they're like kind of not like the best experience you could have all the time, but it is really nice to just be like, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go eat. And like, that's what society should be. It shouldn't be like, how much money is this? Because money is fake. So I just want to eat when I want to eat. You know what I mean? And I want to go to a guacamole making class at 11 a.m. by the pool. Damn it. Is that too much to ask? Anyway, pokepic for this week's episode. Pokepic is Hoopa. Hoopa Unbound, the mischief Pokemon. Ooh, I know what Hoopa. I feel like I've definitely seen Hoopa, but I don't. This feels like a different form. Oh, Hoopa's true. Yeah, okay. All right, Pokedex entry. This is Hoopa's true form, in which it has regained its sealed powers. The hole in its chest is said to connect to another dimension. No way! Because I like Hoopa, the like regular form, but this true form is crazy. It's got like a floating hands, and it's very like, ooh, it's got hoops. I don't know. That's cool. Nice. That's a great Pokepic. I don't even know if I don't know about Hoopa that much, but I think it's a really cool Pokemon. And the true form is really crazy because the whole fact that it has just a whole ass other dimension in its chest is like, oh, okay, go off, Iron Man. That's wild. Quick reminder, we have an email, phenomena.cases@gmail.com. Definitely feel free to email us your personal phenomena stories, especially if they have to do with astral projection or out-of-body experiences. You have to let me know because I want to know what it's like from people who have experienced them. We also have a Patreon where you can show your support if you so choose. We have a $5 tier, a $2 tier, and a free tier. Here are all of our lovely paying patrons. Thank you so much. The free tier is amazing as well. You still get some posts out of it, but with the paid tiers, you get a little more because you're paying. And I appreciate you, and I want to give you some sort of value for that. But regardless, I mean, it's a great way to show your support for the podcast, and I appreciate every single one of you. So thank you so, so much. And thank you so much to the paying patrons. I truly can't do without you. You're amazing. Thank you so, 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 so much. We also have a Discord pinned to the top of our Patreon, so check that out as well. New episodes come out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST. At or around 6 p.m. PST. It's fine. It's fine. There's a little caveat there. It's around that time, and that's all you need to know. No, I'm kidding. It's every Wednesday night, evening, okay? By Thursday morning, it'll be up. Know that. Next time on Phenomena, we'll be talking about the Winchester Mystery House. Yes, this is the haunted house that I was talking about, that I tried to mention in the last episode, and I just kept getting out of my mind about it. But it's like, it's got a bunch of rooms and doors that don't go anywhere, and like windows and like closets and places. I don't know. We'll learn more about it, but this like crazy woman built it. And then I don't know why the architecture is all like, hey, put a bunch of doors that don't go anywhere. Like, what's that about? And why is it haunted? You gotta tune in to find out. I'm excited for a spooky paranormal episode. I decided we need at least one paranormal episode per season because they're fun. I like paranormal stuff. I love ghosts and the like. If I was a Pokemon trainer, I would be a ghost trainer, even though they are pretty weak to ghost and psychic and dark. But they can be strong, but they are very weak to those, and that sucks. But I do love ghost Pokemon. Check out next week's episode. And remember, you can always explore the rabbit hole without falling all the way down or through or out of body into another realm. Be safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye!